everybody? It's your girl V, and I am back yet again with another episode of LoveVeeTalks. Before we get started, you already know, please do not forget to follow your girl on Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade at LoveVeeTalks. And if you're interested in collaborating or promo, LoveVeeTalks at gmail.com. Thank y'all so much for loving on me, supporting me. I appreciate you. I promise I notice everything. So I love y'all a million pieces. So today I have a special guest, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. But before we get started, I want to start off with prayer. Is that okay with you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
God, we come to you today. Thank you for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. God, we thank you for bringing us together. God, we ask that you bring us home safely. God, that we allow that our words to bring wisdom, peace, happiness, joy to anybody's life right now. Touch somebody's heart and mind. God, we just thank you for our family. We thank you for the many opportunities that you've given us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, Miss Taylor, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I own and operate Lucky Lashes. I also own and operate Taylor Made Realty Group, LLC.
So, congratulations on Lucky Lashes. I know you
Thank you.
just started that the beginning of February?
January 1st.
January 1st. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, what's going on with you? I feel like we haven't really caught up in so long.
When I say that this is past due, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so proud of you. The work that you've put in is just undeniable. It's nothing but hard work. What we see in front of us is work, and that's what you get when you do the work. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just so happy to see you. Like when you hit me up, I was just so overjoyed because I feel like we haven't caught up in so long. It's been what, a year, 2, maybe
or
longer
more.
than that.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. I appreciate you, girl.
Of course.
So I know I kind of did like a quick little overview of what I wanted to speak about, and I didn't really want to make our conversation real structured because I just feel like sometimes the best lessons or the best words or whatever just comes from a natural place, and I really didn't want to structure anything. Yeah. But I think that one thing that I've been working on lately is my discernment and getting closer to God. Yeah. And I was actually just talking to somebody about that, how discernment is life or death, and we don't take it as seriously as we should. Mm-hmm. So your personal experience with learning discernment, I guess, how do you feel about your journey so far with gaining discernment?
So I was one of those people that kind of like, sometimes, you know how you can get a warning about a situation, and if you had listened, like you would have avoided that situation. I kind of have that I got to get to know it for myself type attitude. So I kind of learned the hard way. But I would say that the process is worth it because like the skill of discernment, the gift of discernment is like nothing to be played with, and you can't ignore it. So it's something that I value. But I think that it's something that a lot of women struggle with. In a lot of areas, we run to the topic of relationships. Right. That's the hot thing right now, but it's much deeper than that, in my opinion.
It is.
Yep.
It definitely is.
Yep.
Even just with when it comes to your job or, I don't know, just literally every aspect of your life, you have to have a level of discernment. And just like you said, I feel like the biggest thing is everybody wants discernment or talk about discernment when it comes to relationships, but it's not even just that. So, yeah, I'm with you on that as far as having to learn the hard way or learning through experience. Even though I know better, I still do it. Mm-hmm. That's something I'm still working on. I feel like I've gotten better with that, but I used to be so ashamed of the mistakes that I made, but then I realized, I may not know everybody else's journey, but that doesn't mean that they're not making mistakes too. I'm just more honest about mine.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, hey, if that's how I learned, then that's how I learned. Ain't no shame in my game.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it right, but still.
Yeah. It's like living authentically is not for the weak. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that. Like once I got to a certain age and got in certain rooms, I like realized that like authenticity, a lot of people live most of their life with a mask on and they don't even know it. And like, we share the same sentiment there, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Especially with, I don't know if you had this experience or not, but I know with how I was raised, it was, what goes on this house stays in this house. So I always felt like I always had to put on a mask and pretend. I played a lot of games, faking it. And then I realized it was so much pressure on my heart and like my health.
Yeah.
Living that way, I just always felt like I was living a lie.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean tell everybody your business.
Yeah.
But still, you got to be at least honest with yourself. And I wasn't even doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, you have any questions for me?
So what I'm going to ask is going to be more like you centered. And because I want to like know what has been your mindset to get to where you are now. Like we met, and I think it was longer than like 2 years ago, maybe like 3.
I think 3.
And like seeing you from then to now, like the plan that you had, like that you said you had, you followed it. So like, I guess what I want to know is like, what drove you?
I think the first step was hosting my first event. That was when I got my feet wet and I said, okay, I can do this. Even with all the things that went wrong with it. And it, like with you helping me, because I felt like when my venue fell through last minute the day of, and everybody's like, no, V, still do it, because I was on cancel. I was like, oh no, everything needs to be right. I needed to look a certain way. But then you were the main one. I think I had called you and I was panicking because I really wanted to cancel. I'm like, I don't like this. Like, I'm changing the venue at the last minute. But just the way that I feel like it touched me and it touched all the other women that were there, it really was a driving force for me to keep going.
Yeah.
And that was all the faith that I needed to know, like, okay, I really do got this.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I needed. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like, you know that you can do it, but it's like moments like that when you're in your purpose, you're gonna have moments like that. Like it just happens. It's a kind of a test, if you will, just to see kind of how bad do you want it, because again, like it goes back to the work. Like you get what you work for. Like at the end of the day, there's nothing else. Like no cutting corners, etc. So, yeah.
That was honestly, I don't know. When you say cutting corners, I feel like that's what I was trying to do at first. I definitely, well, that's not what I feel like. I know that's what I was doing at first.
Yeah.
I felt like certain careers that I wanted, but it's like, okay, you have to have certain credentials to get it. And I'm sitting here trying to find my way to slither through that, trying to go a different route. But it's like, girl, you got to put the work in. You can't be trying to, how you say you want to be this, you want to be a leader and you have no leadership qualities.
Yeah.
That's not, you don't just be, you're not given the title of leader. That's not how that works. So I definitely had to learn that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that myself also. Like I would say that that's something that in the last like 2 years specifically is like the cutting corners. You can't cut them. Like there is, because it's going to lead you back to square one every time. You got to start over. So yeah.
I think that the past couple of years, I don't know, I think maybe when I moved to Dallas 5 years ago, that was probably one of the moments where I'm like, okay, God, where are you leading me? Because I didn't have any money and I didn't have a plan and I didn't have a job. I had no idea what I wanted to do in my life.
Yeah.
That was probably my lowest point. And God never left me. Even when I told him, like, okay, I got this on my own. Like, I don't even need you. He showed me, okay, if that's what you say, I don't know, girl. I just feel like the way things have played out so far in the last few years is nothing but God. I don't even know how to explain it. Some of the stuff I want to explain.
Yeah, I feel that. Like completely. Like it's it's just,
You just don't know. You know, but you don't know.
I don't know how to put it into words. It's just, I don't know. God is good. Like God is so great. He'll show himself to you when you get out of the way, but you gotta get out of the
You
way
got to get out the
first.
way.
Like I've been in my own ways for so long. And I was like, it didn't dawn on me like the vision that you have is for you. And like the issue that I had was always trying to like bring people with me. And like that was, they can't see the vision that you have. And I had to learn this the hard way. But once I got it, I was like, okay, all right, now I can see clearly. But you start to like lose people,
Right.
and you kind of just go through the process. But yeah, like the answer is God. That's it.
That's it. That's it. I don't
Yeah.
even know how to explain it. I think also too is when you're doing really good, it's so easy to praise God. It's so easy to thank Him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you feel like you're not doing so good, you want to blame Him. You want to be angry with Him. I know that was my experience.
Mm-hmm.
Or feeling like I didn't need Him. It's like, okay, well, you put me through this. Why do I even need you? And then trying to figure it out on my own. And it
Yeah.
never worked out that way.
Uh-huh.
So I've been trying to practice being thankful for when I'm not feeling my best or when I am going through something. And I
Yeah.
feel like it does help me get through it. And I feel like I have a clear answer, especially if I'm having to experience like confusion. If I don't know an answer, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I don't like how this feel, God. I'm not understanding what's going on.
Yeah.
But I know that this is happening for a reason. I thank
Mm-hmm.
you anyway.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the answer always show
Shows
up
up. Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. Precisely. Just like that. There's no like formula. It's faith. Like I guess if I could like sum it up. But yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you say? I know you said bringing people with you.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your experience with that? Because you said you had to learn the hard way. So
Mm-hmm.
what did that look like for you?
Yeah. So um I would have to say specifically like career wise, I always had this like vision of like power couple, kind of like, I want to do everything with my person. Like I don't want to have to, I just want the whole complete life. And I think that also like ended up destroying me in a sense, because sometimes like the vision just yours,
Yeah.
and like you can talk somebody into it, convince them, but like them coming along, like people, this is what I mean by what I'm saying. Like people want you to do good, but they don't want you to outshine them.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something that like familiar people that you're around all the time, that think that y'all are equal. We're all humans, but like, sometimes your thinking is just a little bit more elevated, you know. So like I had to learn that through like relationship, because again, like that was something that I now see in hindsight. I kind of like, pushed it, and but it wasn't like for me to share it. It was for me to work on myself. So that's why I would say like I had to learn the hard way. Sometimes everybody just can't come with you. It's hard to explain. Like you just get it, and you get to a point to where you can have one conversation with somebody, and you can, okay, we can click. Okay, I'm not, you're not somebody I want to have another conversation with.
Right.
So, it's just, I don't know. That's it.
Yeah. No, I think that, and I think a part of it too is I don't know if it's potential, but it's kind of like you had this vision and you trying to make it work. You're trying to
Mm-hmm.
put a puzzle piece in there that does not fit,
Yeah.
but you want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You want it so bad because in your head there's no other way. This is
Mm-hmm.
the only way this is supposed to work.
Yep.
And I mean, the way God works.
Okay, let me take you on a little detour. Exactly, just like that. And like you'll actually think it's working, and all of a sudden it just all falls apart, because it's not anything that's not equally yoked. It's always gonna like clash.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's not gonna be for me. I felt like I was never really at peace being in a situation,
mm-hmm.
whether it was a friendship or like a relationship.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel, I never felt at ease. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when I was feeling good, it didn't, something in my spirit just still didn't feel
Yeah.
right. Whether it was having nightmares, the dreams that I was having, or the things that were happening in my life, it's like, dang, why is this? I don't understand. Like, I'm doing fine. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Why is this happening? But then when you get rid of that person or people or whatever, you start to see so clear,
Mm-hmm.
so clear.
Yeah.
Even things that didn't even have anything to do with them, just your car
Yeah.
keep breaking down, or
Yeah.
just it ain't even them, but it's just the energy that you in is not gonna work,
Mm-hmm.
and God keep trying to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it happens just like that. Like just and that's a difficult like spot to be in when you're being made to like let something go and you know you're being made to let it go, but you just want it so bad, or you have emotional attachment to it, or whatever it is. There's so much to insert there, trauma bond, whatever it is. A lot of people think they're in love and they're in one of those things.
Hmm.
But yeah, like that's just the way it goes. It's not a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, because I know, with trying to make things work, how do you feel like you maneuver with getting out of those situations?
Mm, the way that I maneuver, the first thing is I feel everything. Like you got to feel it out. You can't try to go through life like it ain't there. Some pain and some situations, you just got to sit in it so that you can feel it, so that it doesn't hold you hostage,
Hmm.
like, keeps you stagnant at that time period mentally. So that's the first step. And then, of course, like prayer, like, you have to seek spiritual guidance to help yourself maneuver through. Otherwise, you'll be acting on emotion and all out of character, and now you done mess things up worse. And then, of course, like therapy was a big one for me. Like I go to church and I go to therapy. So, like sometimes you need to sit down with a professional,
Hmm.
a trained mental professional to help you process thoughts, and feelings and events. So I would say that like those are the three. Oh, and gym, like for sure. Like the
Yes.
gym is it just keeps your eyes
It
dotted and
just
your
do what it
T's
do.
crossed. Yeah, like
Hmm.
you look good, you feel good. It's hard to explain. The girls that get it.
Yeah. Listen,
Mm,
the gym definitely feels like it solves all your problems.
yeah,
For real.
yeah.
If you don't know nothing else, even if you just had a mental breakdown, even if you just go to the gym,
Hmm.
you're going to feel some type of better.
So much better.
Yeah, you might not be 100%, but it don't matter. It was better
It
than what you were
helps.
earlier.
It
Yeah.
helps. Yeah, for sure. That was one of the things that like helped me through the start of 2024. I did like 90 days straight, and like it had been a while since I've been to the gym. I hadn't been in the gym consistently in like 3 years. So I just did like the 90 days straight. And I was like, I was not in a good place. I was like upset about, having to get divorced, amongst like losing almost everything, like just about like pretty much. So I wasn't mentally in a good space. But like getting into the gym, I got into the routine of it, and it just kind of helped me to process my thoughts. Then I did therapy, got in therapy, and then church, like really rebuilt my relationship with God. Um, so like, yeah, I root for the gym, any type of exercise, run, walk, all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, do you go to church regularly, or do you just okay?
I do.
I'm working on that. I'm trying to get back into that because I haven't been as consistent as I want to be.
Okay. So when you say as consistent as you want to be, how consistent do you want to be? Do you want to be like every Sunday or?
I would love
Okay.
to be every Sunday, and I actually want to. I don't know what ministry I want to join, but I know I want to be a part of something. It's been on my heart. I just don't know what, but I'm just allowing God to lead me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Like a lot of churches have, you know, a lot of things that you can join, or join a church and start something. They're always like open to like those ideas. Um, but yeah, like it's just, and church is not the building. Church is like, there are people that go to church faithfully that don't pray outside of church.
Right.
And then there, you know, the opposite. There are people who don't go to church and they're the closest to God. So it's just, you know, you find the balance yourself. Like you'll, you know, it'll work out for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know it will. I
Mm-hmm.
know it will.
Yeah.
As far as my relationship with God, I feel like that's gotten a lot better because I strayed away for a long time with that. And I actually just started back reading my Bible. I'm on the 1 year plan because I want to finish it. My goal is to finish reading the Bible in its entirety in a year.
Okay.
And I feel like the Bible, everything that I've read so far, even though I feel like sometimes we don't give God enough credit because every literally struggle, whether it's confusion, whether it's um whether it's getting your confidence, whether it's friendships, anything, the answer is there. And I never really gave the Bible enough credit.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have so much clarity in my life just by just being consistent the past few months that I've been seeking. It's like, why did you even
Stray away?
Yeah. But you just don't know. You just don't know.
I will say that it is really easy to stray away. Like, and it's the hardest thing coming back. Like it you know, because anytime you like step away, you know, you lose your covering, you know, they come harder, you know, the adversary comes 10 times harder.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and you are not alone. I'm on that same like train with you. Like it's been, you know, it's not that I'll say, oh, like, oh, I can do it myself. It's more of a, oh, okay, the connection is established. I don't have to work as hard. But like, that's not how that relationship works. It requires constant, you know, communication, constant sacrifice. I'll say
Yeah.
sacrifice. Because like the godly life is not, it's not for the weak. Again, it's just, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you it's a different set of principles, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that when I think of being more godly or being like God, I always felt like it was a level of perfection that I was trying to reach that I don't know how to explain it. Like if I didn't look a certain way, if I didn't act a certain way, then that makes me ungodly. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I had to 100% be this way 100% of the time.
Yeah, I get that. And again, like these are the same thoughts that like I've had also. I think that God just requires you to be like perfectly you. He doesn't really like, you
I like
know,
that.
it's not a, and I had to learn this the hard way. Oh, like, oh, that's, I would follow someone that I thought was living a godly life. Whole time they're not exactly, you know, or their model doesn't work for you. You have to follow your own model when it comes to that. And I think that that's exactly what God requires is you being perfectly you.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You're right. So, okay. Do you do you mind like do you have a limit as far as where you want to go, how deep you want to go today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I know you said that you went through a divorce
Mm-hmm.
and I know you have your babies.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel like you held up like for your kids like in that moment or in that season?
Um, I was barely there. I'll tell you that. Like mentally, I was barely there. Like it was routine, pretty much. Wake up, get ready for school. You know, keep the younger two, clean diapers, teach ABCs, one, two,
I don't
threes.
know why you about to make me cry because
Like
I could feel that you were.
no, like I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I
I could
don't mean
just
to
feel
like
it.
go that deep, but
No,
like
I just feel it. I'm
it was
sorry.
it was a I don't know, it was a very I don't know what type of time it was. I felt like I don't know, like I was just it I don't know. And like I try to think back and I'm like, how did I get by? Like I wasn't praying. I was like I was actually like upset with God. Like, okay, I'm like, God, you watch what we did from ground zero. Like we
Mm-hmm.
built this, you know, this life together. And then we built like actual things, tangible things. Our house, we got it built from the ground up. We had our kids, both our babies learned how to walk in this house. So it was like, okay, all right, now this is being broken up. So now it's like, what do I do? And I had to figure out who I was outside of like mom and wife and, you know, all of these positions that came with things that I probably really wasn't ready for so early, so soon, but you know, it is what it is on that. You live and you learn. So it was difficult, the most difficult of difficult. I was working a full-time job, you know, taking care of two kids, pregnant, you know, like alone, you know, single, like going through this process. And it was just a very different type of time. I don't even, like I say that women are very strong, and I don't feel like we should women should have to be strong, in my opinion. I feel like women are made to be feminine and soft, and you can maximize your femininity being that way. Like, and this was like a time that I wasn't able to exercise any of that. Like I had to be strong. Like there was no other way. Yeah, like there was no other way. So it was just a time. But I'm like, I'm grateful for that time, because I look at myself and I'm like, I don't recognize myself when I look in the mirror, but not in a bad way. And it's like, I never would have been this person 3 years ago or 4 years ago married. There was no way. It was not going to happen. So like, I mean, I'm just grateful for it all. Really.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I
Thank
really
you.
am.
Yeah.
Because it takes, I really cannot stand the association with women and strong.
Yeah.
Because
Hmm.
when we put that out there, it's not, it doesn't feel like a compliment to me.
It's not. That's the thing. Like, I
I
don't,
thought it was just me.
I do not want to be labeled as strong. Like, anytime, like before I got married and I was dating, I would hear like, "Oh, you're such a strong black woman." Immediate block, because I don't want, that's not, you're gonna, that's what you see in me. That's what you like about me the most, because men speak what they like. And I don't want, because you're gonna try and test my strength. And that's too much of a, like a hamster on a wheel type situation, and you don't want to get into that. So I always avoided that strength word. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Keep it.
It's just not. I mean, I can't stand it. I used to love it because, you know, like hearing my mom say it, or like my grandma or whatever, and you feel like, oh, I want to be a strong woman. But when you gotta be a strong woman, you don't want that
Yeah,
life.
no, you don't.
It's not cute. It's bad for your health.
Mm-hmm.
You doing it out of survival. It's not
Yeah.
a choice. You're not doing it because you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't find struggle and hard life as strength.
No.
Yes, I can get through it.
Yeah.
But the fact that I even have to do all this is not okay.
It should be an option, is what I'd say. Like, women are not made for like to be strong, you know. It should just be a well-oiled machine. It shouldn't be difficult, like too much difficult on a woman, puts her out of her place. Like, men figure things out. Leave that to men, and just like, you know, do what flows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I know you. Well, first of all, how long have you been in Grand Prairie?
So I've been in Grand Prairie not that long, actually, since November.
Oh, so you just got there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought how are you liking it so far?
I would say that it's not where I'm going to choose to settle.
Okay.
It's one of those kind of in the middle kind of areas, like where people go to settle down, and I'm not exactly, like, I'm settling, but I'm not ready to just, you know, retire or anything like that. So that's why I would say that the community is kind of like, I think I want to lay roots somewhere where, you know, my neighbor's the same age as me, or close. So, but other than like it's being quiet, I feel like again, it goes back to God. God does what he
He
does.
does
Like,
what he
it's
does.
like very quiet, very silent. It's peaceful. And I think that in this era of my life, that's where I'm at peace. Like, I'm not gonna work too hard right now. I'm not gonna overdo anything. I'm not even gonna raise my voice in this chapter of life. And I probably never will again. Just
Yeah.
because I've gotten a taste of peace. A taste of peace will like calm you all the way down, and you'll like do the work to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Peace is very valuable.
Yeah.
We you know how when you start to experience that level of peace, you realize some people just operate in chaos. Like no matter what, like you can be as peaceful as pie, but because they are used to chaos and they operate in it and that's what they enjoy,
Yeah.
you could never, you're not
And
gonna meet.
look, and then people who enjoy chaos try to loop you into the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, in black families, like no shade, but we are known for mess and chaos. And like, because grandma did this, we're going to do this. Like,
Yeah.
do you not realize that's why everybody has all of this, animosity towards each other? These like triangulation games. Oh, you call your cousin to talk about your aunt, and then you call your aunt to talk about your cousin.
Yeah.
And it's just like weird. And I don't really understand it. So, like, I mean, the chaos is just, again, when you get a taste of peace, and like, I don't even really feel like it's get a taste of peace, because a chaos lover, they're going to love chaos regardless. Peace is going to feel weird to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that when you get so sick of the chaos and you're like, look, I know there's a better way. I know that there's more. Like, I know that there's a higher state of mind. And
Mm-hmm.
then that's when you work towards peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend because so it took me a while to realize some people just really operate that way. No matter what you say, no matter what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend where she was in this situation and I didn't really have many boundaries with her. And so she could call me whenever, which cool. I'm not gonna say cool, but if we were talking about something where it wasn't so much chaos, I probably would be okay with it. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But it was always, every time we spoke, it was, oh, I'm outside this other girl house because I suspect that he over there, or oh, I'm uh he not doing what he needs to do, but yeah, you staying with him. You
Yeah.
still with him, right? And so as a friend, I'm trying to be gentle, and I'm like, you know what, friend, I understand how you feel, blah blah blah, trying to be there for her. But then after a while, the conversation was so repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
I realized you don't want to get out this situation. You just
Yeah.
telling me about it because it
Uh-huh.
make you feel better to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I do believe in being there for my friends, but it was like, if you want to stay in that situation, I love you, but I love you from a distance because
Yeah.
you are a lover of chaos, and I'm gonna pray for
Yes.
you because you're not ready. You're not ready to get out of that,
Yeah.
and we can't coincide. We can't coexist because I value my peace,
Yeah.
and you're not there yet, boo.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's like when you get to a place to where you don't play about you, like nothing, two things happen, I will say at the same time. Nothing can rattle you, and you're not going to let anything rattle you all at the same time. Meaning that you know when to withdraw. Oh, I know that, And all at the same time, it's like, I choose this because I choose me, kind of regardless of how it makes other people feel. Like, and it's not selfish, it's just peace, boundaries.
I think that boundaries is definitely, people villainize it because when they can't get what they want out of you, now all of a sudden you're wrong for recognizing that what they're doing isn't aligning with you. Like, if you can tell somebody a million times yes, that one time you tell them no, now because they're not benefiting, now
Yeah.
you're the bad guy.
You're terrible.
You're a terrible
Yep.
person.
Yep. That's true. Seen it too many times. It's happened to me too many times. And I'm like, once or twice I used to try to like talk people through it, like, okay, do you understand, like, this is a boundary, like, I know that you've crossed the boundary before and you're used to doing that, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that. And they just don't get it. It's like it offends them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so I just, okay, I just
Right.
lean back, so it's just one of those things. That's literally what emotional intelligence is that right there, like, just knowing when just knowing when to be quiet, when to talk, when to, there's
Right.
always a time and place for everything. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm definitely learning that. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. I had to get the last word in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you not listen to me, I'm gonna get louder so you can hear me.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start to realize just because you talk a lot don't mean that they hear you.
Yeah.
We both doing it.
Uh-huh.
Nobody's listening. Everybody's trying to get their point across. Nobody's listening.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's been right there with you, sis. Now I've never been like a loud person,
Mm-hmm.
and like same with you. I know that I can read it, but just like snappy a little bit, just a smidget. Um, and it never worked. Like that, it just never worked. That wasn't the way to go. It's just better to just, but you have to go through it to learn it too. Emotional intelligence. You don't just wake up with it.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's such a great place to be because I always just looked at it as a thing to like boundaries as something to learn with romantic relationships.
Hmm.
But the past couple years have been a little difficult for me because I've been learning to do it with family members,
Yeah.
with people that I've grown up with. And it's like, well, I can't take it back because I've allowed them to do that for so long. But then it's like, nope, you can't think that way because today is a new day. You say you want boundaries, so you still
Yeah.
have to go be 10 toes. Like, it's not halfway.
Yeah.
You have to be all the way in,
Hmm.
whoever it is.
Yeah.
And that's been, I ain't gonna lie, it's been a little tough for me. But I've
Hmm.
been doing it. I've been doing it. It's been a little tough.
Again, right there with you, because like when you have like that helper's heart, like you're naturally nurturing, you're naturally giving, and sometimes that can like work against you all at the same time. So you have to like learn how to navigate that. And I think that that's been my like, a double-edged sword, is that, gift right there. So yeah, it's just, but once you learn it, you got it. And
You
it's
got it.
it's you can just, do it easily, and you just kind of do what works, not just for yourself but everyone in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think when I first started to learn boundaries, I was definitely an extremist in a way.
hmm.
Like I could feel myself lacking empathy. I don't
Yeah.
know how to explain it. I was struggling with finding a middle ground.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I could put myself first, but I can also, some things aren't, how do I say it? Some things aren't, you can have boundaries, but with certain things, like for example, I had a friend who never really calls me for anything crazy. Every time we have a conversation, it's always great, love it. But then one time, I really lacked as a friend because she needed me in a moment where she was feeling down, and I could have sacrificed that time for her. It's not like she always, putting her baggage on me or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I realized I could have just been a friend and just sacrificed that moment. Like I don't want to be the one where you don't feel like you can't come to me, but then I also don't want to be the
Yeah.
one where you come to all the time.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's a
Hmm.
better way of putting it,
Yeah.
because with that relationship, with that friendship, I'm like, this girl don't never come to me with nothing. I couldn't be there for her one time, and I felt so guilty about that
Hmm.
because in my heart, I'm like, this is my girl. I love her. I literally could have. She's not bothering me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I get that. It's just, I think again, that's just one of those things that you just learn,
Mm-hmm.
and like people can feel when it's like, like maybe malicious or not malicious per se. So like, because you're human, just like the next person is also human. So, you can't really compartmentalize things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this too, but I think probably the hardest for me with setting boundaries and having or using my discernment was with my family, because I know in my mind that, okay, this person is using me, but because I've done it and because we're family, I just keep allowing them to do certain things.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
hardest. Everybody else probably didn't affect me as much, but that was hard.
Yeah, because and same. I've been there. I've been in those shoes also. And it's just like, you would give the shirt off your back for people who wouldn't for you, and they could do more for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, meaning that, like, they could clothe you, feed you, house you. Like, that's what I mean by that. Like, some people are just like, and sometimes they can see like what you're capable of, and they can see that you can't see that. Like, that happens. It happens all the time. And that's how, like, I think a lot of people specifically get like taken advantage of by family members. And I think that is, just got to look at it as like they're still people, and they still have that, they choose which way that they go.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you can do is judge them based on the way that they choose to go, because one is right and one is wrong.
Right.
So
yeah. Do you feel like you will ever do you feel like there's ever a level of like balance with personal life, business life, um, taking time for yourself, being a mom? Do you ever feel like there's a level of balance, or you just handling it day by day?
I think that there is a level of balance. I haven't reached it yet. I'll be honest with you. Some things are still out of balance, but I'm working on it daily. And I really feel like that's all that matters. Because life is, of course, a gift and an opportunity, and we are here to make the most of it. So I think that there is a healthy balance. Just I haven't reached it. I strive for it daily. But yeah, I think that there is. It's just, kind of difficult to get to in anything, like in any, routine or, dream that you're following. It's you just kind of got to find it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been following the Soft Life Girls, right? And I've they always make balance look so easy. But then I realized, with gaining more discernment and talking to God, I don't know if, and this is no shade, okay? I think that the quote unquote lifestyle isn't really, I think it's just a cute way of saying being more feminine, but then also, it's not that I'm trying to be careful with my words.
No, just say it.
But
I think you have it. I think you should just say it. Like, is it, are you trying to say with like that type of life with a touch of manipulation?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm like, how do I pretty this up? But I was trying to achieve that, but then I realized with having to do that was trying to eliminate some morals that I have. I'll say that.
Okay.
And it's not that I necessarily disagree with the lifestyle. It just didn't align with me. Like, I feel like in my heart, like, it just didn't feel natural, it didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was younger and I wasn't trying to, be married or, live a certain life, maybe I wouldn't care so much. But
yeah, if you want peace, that's not the life that you want.
I've never felt that peace. I thought it was me.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely not like, it depends on, you can have a soft life, but it's all about how you go about it. Now, the girlies nowadays, there's always a guru on TikTok or Facebook, Instagram. Oh, do this and you'll be able to get this Chanel bag and this G-Wagon custom made for my birthday. And he move me to Miami in this condo and all of this. That's like soft life with manipulation because there's like a level of deception going on. But the backside of that life is he ain't never there. Like he's constantly like, he's a little disrespectful. He's a bit of a hothead. Maybe he's an alcoholic. There is a underside to all of this. And that's a form of imbalance. Sorry, but it is.
Don't apologize. I feel like you explained it so eloquently, so perfectly, because I could not put it into words. Because when I first started dating, after I decided that I wanted to have better boundaries with men,
mm-hmm.
when I tried that, it never felt like I had a level of peace ever.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was always trying to play like a mind game or trying to get something. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Yep.
It just never felt comfortable to me.
Yep. And that's exactly, if you are cut from a certain cloth when you want to be authentic, any type of too much manipulation, mind game type situation is not going to work for you because it's not authentic and it doesn't flow. And that's what authenticity is. You just let things flow, of course, with discretion. So,
yeah, I definitely wasn't focusing on my discernment and just trying to mirror what other women were doing. But then also too, people show us what they want us to see.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that I'm doing what they're doing, but they telling me what they want me to know. Just like you said, they're not telling you that he's not there. They're not telling you, he a little hothead or, they're not telling you that part. So you thinking like, oh, he's going to be this perfect guy. And he's going to be give me whatever I want, whenever I want. He's going to be so perfect. But that's not necessarily the reality of it.
Yeah, no. And it very rarely is. Like, now there is a way to achieve it. You just build it yourself. The work that you're putting in, trying to, play the mind game, you can actually be molding that life for yourself because we make our lives. Like, and that's something I had to learn. Like, if something isn't the way you want it, it's because you're not going in the direction of that and you need to reroute. And that's just the way I talk to myself. But yeah. Yeah.
Make it yourself. Make that life yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better that way. Less like headache, less. And I'm not saying that like relationships are headaches, but if they're not equally yoked, it's gonna be a headache, is what I'm saying. And just like whatever it is that you want to attract, just be that. Like, work on that to make that your reality.
Yeah. When I started doing things for myself, going to the gym, doing therapy, going to church, getting into the word, buying myself flowers, working on my plan, like with my podcast and everything I want to accomplish, I feel like I really did start to, still am, attracting the things that I want in my life. People come to me with opportunities that I didn't expect, or just the way my man treats me. Like, it's just always something good always coming every single day. So just like you said, create that life for yourself. It's such a beautiful place to be because you're not dependent upon somebody. And it's not even about being Miss Independent. It's not that. It's just you created that. Like, you did that for yourself and nobody can take that away from you.
Exactly. That's it. And I'm glad you said that. And a lot of the like soft life, and I don't want to harp on this because I don't want to make it seem like I'm negative, but like I really want to help break up this stigma of this soft life, soft life, soft life. Like, some girls they're getting cheated on. Like, and he's telling her, hey, it's Megan's night. I'll see you in a couple of days. Like, these are some of the things that they have to deal with, and it's non-negotiable. Like, that's just what it is. Oh, you want that Chanel bag? That's a $20,000 bag. You're gonna pay for it. But like, nobody can take it from you in that lifestyle. If you have not gone about it the right way, you can be left with nothing. Like, like that. Like, just 1 second you got it, the next second you don't. Just simply based off of the fact that you're allowing someone to determine whether you eat or not, like whether you eat or starve. And that's not a position that any woman should want to be in.
Yeah, that's very scary because
Yeah.
I don't think I would be able to sleep at night
Yeah, no. It's not
because they can change their mind when the wind blows.
yeah,
It
and
ain't
they
even that you
do.
did anything.
Mhm.
It's just all right. Well, just like you say, it's Megan, Jasmine,
Mhm.
Crystal, somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very scary.
It's like that, but they need to hear it. Like just become what you want to attract. And when you look up, once you're done like working on it, you look up and you'll see that you have it or you're there or whatever it is that you're looking to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I started to, and I'm so proud of myself. I was blocking some of these relationship gurus because
Yeah.
I got so tired of seeing on my timeline why he's not texting you back or how to get him to text you back or how to get money out of a guy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick. Everybody's an expert.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert. Everybody's telling you to act a certain way. And I'm like, I just want to be myself. I just want
Yeah.
to work on myself and it's gonna
Uh-huh.
come to me. I'm so tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's draining. Everybody's saying something different, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
And if you don't know any better, if you don't have any discernment, you gonna get swayed every which way.
Uh-huh. That's true. That's very true. And that's why like it's good to be in tune with yourself. And it's not easy to get in tune with yourself. You have to want to be in tune with yourself. Because if you're not, you'll be on the wrong train. And then like by the time you look up, it's too late to get off. And you just gotta ride that out. So just aware. Just stay aware.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It. I'm trying to figure out a way to say it, but it's kind of like life feels like it's so easy yet so difficult at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you value your peace, you maintain it, but like maintaining it is not necessarily always easy. But like you
Mm-hmm.
always go in the direction of my peace, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep. I I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't really have much to say back on that because I agree with you. You said it just right.
Because once you start to value that piece of your life, just peace, you may not know like you may not know how to handle every single situation, but you know in the back of your mind, okay, I want my peace. And you're
Mm-hmm.
going to try to figure out how to get that back.
Yeah.
And so once you have that in your head, things become easier. It doesn't necessarily always make life less difficult. Like, you know, things happen, but I feel like you are better able to handle them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even if you don't know all the answers or the right way to go, you know, okay, I really want my peace or I don't know what's going on, but I know I need my peace back. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's a really good point because like when it comes to your peace, sometimes once you find it, you realize like how much you've been people pleasing and like just letting people just kind of get away with everything because you weren't valuing your peace or prioritizing your peace is what I should say. And it's just really important because you just live a better quality of life when you have peace. It's
Mm-hmm.
just different. Um yeah, that's it.
I always equated having a better quality of life by being nice. And then I realized nice
Yeah.
is not, it benefits other
Mm-mm.
people more than it benefits you.
Absolutely. I always like tell people I'm a good person, not a nice one. Like I'm good, but I'm not nice. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a difference. And sometimes people don't know how to grasp that because people are either typically mean or they're nice, usually one of the two. But someone that's kind of like in the middle, that's rare and that's like kind of hard to achieve. But you just kind of learn how not to take things personally. And I think that that is the number one or one of the top five pieces of advice on finding peace.
Mm-hmm.
It's like stop taking stuff personal because people project like they do, and they'll have you doubting yourself when you're fully capable of doing whatever it is that you're looking to do. So that's what I would say on that.
That's so true. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so true. Because when I first started my podcast, I shared with a few people that I was close with,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, you ain't never did that before. Why
Yeah.
why are you doing it? Ain't no money in that, you know. And and I used to get
Mm-hmm.
so offended, but me now, it's like, you know what? That's you're talking about yourself. You're not talking about
Yeah.
me.
Uh-huh.
You feel like you can't do it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not me. How you
Yeah.
feel has nothing to do with me.
That's right.
And I will always internalize what other people say as truth, but just because they say it doesn't make it true.
That is so true. People are just once I studied psychology for a couple of semesters in college, and like it intrigued me so that I kind of went into human psychology and like why people do certain things. um and once you kind of like learn that, like sit back and people watch a little bit, maybe go out to lunch alone and just sit at the bar or whatever and just kind of watch people, like you'll be able to tell,
Yeah.
and once you pay attention, it's like, and once you pay attention, you stop taking things personally. Like
Yeah.
you stop, because it's like, oh, okay, because we're all in this big world, but everyone exists in their own individual
Mhm.
worlds. So like, yeah, just don't take anything
Yeah.
personal.
It's
Yeah.
definitely been therapy has helped me with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
When I had shared with a family member, I had shared with somebody about something that happened to me in the past about being taken advantage of when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
And this person said, I don't know if this is verbatim, but it was something along the lines of, well, you need to figure out why you are such an easy target, like why people feel like they could try you, right?
Oh wow.
And so, mind you, I'm telling them something that happened when I was like 6.
Yeah.
So, I told them, and I, I feel like this was God speaking, because if it was me, I probably would have told them off. But I was like, you know what? I said, you know what? I understand why you're saying what you're saying because you don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put that on you. You're not a professional. So I don't expect you to fully understand. And
Yeah.
I just left it at that
Mm-hmm.
because I realized that person, as much as I wanted to confide in them, they just simply did not understand. Like,
Yeah.
and you can't make somebody understand.
Yeah. That's
you
true.
you know Maybe the old me would have been like trying to force them to understand, but some people just genuinely don't, and it doesn't mean that they necessarily mean ill, but
Yeah.
they genuinely, some people just don't, they just
Yeah.
don't.
And I feel that sometimes like people like that are here to remind us of what it's like when you're not open minded and when you kind of lack self awareness a bit. Because like being self aware helps you to be aware of others, I feel. And you can't make a person have that. Some people, they just choose not to.
Hmm.
Like, and that's okay. That's their choice. But we just got to stay out that way, I guess.
We got to stay out their way.
So,
Seriously,
yeah.
seriously, but that goes
Mm-hmm.
back to valuing our peace.
Yeah.
We can argue with people like that, but what good is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for us?
Yeah. Nothing.
Exactly, you can't make
Nothing.
nobody.
Mm-mm. No.
Sometimes some people do realize and they come back to you, but you can't wait on that.
Yeah.
They can only operate in their own capacity, and
That's
that's
right.
the only ability that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true. That's
Hmm.
true. It's like pointless trying to wake people up. I've learned that kind of the hard way. Just, if you see something, oh, okay, I can't rock with that. Or, you just kind of gotta like lean back and just kind of fade out sometimes.
Hmm.
It's not always feasible to have a conversation
Hmm.
because sometimes talking too much can just cause unnecessary friction.
Yeah.
So sometimes just fade away. People get it. They know, and life goes on.
That's it. That's why I don't know if this is just my overthinking mind, but if I walk into a room of people that I don't know or a situation I don't know, I never really speak, minus, just the regular, hey, how you doing? Introduce myself.
Yeah.
And I just kind of back away and just watch the room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just because I'm always overthinking or if I'm just trying to read to see how I'm supposed to, you know.
I think it's the latter. I think we're taught to, kind of be overly critical of ourselves, but sometimes that's just your personality. I have the same personality. Like, I'm not like super happy with, I'm conversating with everybody. I'm gonna sit back so I know, especially if it's a room I've never been in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like sit back and just watch what goes on because that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if you don't know. I mean, you just walking in and, you know, I've had a couple people tell me that they didn't like me because they felt like I was hard to read. And I'm like, well, why you want to read me anyway? I don't understand.
Just like how we like to read others. I mean,
Yeah.
but all at the same time, like, and I was gonna actually make this video, but I didn't, and I don't know why I didn't. But like, when you are who you say you are, like, and you don't have to front, like, people don't like that, and I don't understand why they don't like that. Um, Again, it goes back to like authenticity. Like, I just, you can be authentically you. You do know that. Like, you don't have to mimic anybody else. Like, that's how I think. So when and I'm just speaking like hypothetically, like, people don't, for whatever reason, they don't like it when you know yourself, when you're one with yourself. They don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
People who maybe are insecure about themselves, they can't stand it, and they try to poke you. Like, and I don't understand. I'm like, why is that? This should be an inspiration to you, but it's being taken the opposite, and it just puzzles me sometimes.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night thinking about it. Like, why does jealousy exist? Why does, like, why, what's the, I try to understand again. Like, I just try to get an understanding. I might not agree with it, but I just want to, like, and I can't, like, hating and like jealousy, two things I don't get. I don't understand them, because you can do the same thing.
You can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad you brought that up. Jealousy. And I think whew, when people call, what is it called? It's called rage bait.
Uh-huh.
When people make posts to get people going, right?
Yeah.
And so when people send me videos and like, oh, I can't believe this girl said that. And I kid you not, every single time somebody send me something like that, I'm just like, but there would not be a such thing as rage bait if y'all didn't feed into it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah.
But they know, and this is no shade, but they know that the emotional intelligence is lacking. So like they know that they can manipulate, not necessarily manipulate, but they know they can get what they want out of you.
Yeah.
Is what I'll say.
Yeah, that's true. And that just goes back to that emotional intelligence is very important. You be like, having a balance between your emotions and your logic can save your life, literally. Being off balance in too much into your emotions can have, like, because if you move off of emotions, that can be like, it can take you one way or the other, just plainly put. And again, one of those things I don't get.
I don't get it. I don't think I would ever get it. Listen, that ain't my lane.
Like, not at all. So I just try to, like, again, I just try to understand. Some things are like, oh my God, that is so insane. Like, that's just crazy. Like, why would you do that? Or why would you think that? But,
So do you have like any questions for me? Because I feel like I asked you a lot of questions.
Yeah. I don't think I really have any questions per se. I would like to ask you about your relationship though, just because we want to know. Like, so you're clearly being loved correctly. We can see that. How did you meet? And how is he different from, like, maybe a version of you before, or like, how is this relationship different?
Oh my goodness. So we actually met off of TikTok. We met TikTok live. It was so random. We weren't following each other. I didn't know him at all. I just decided one day, I was going to scroll on TikTok. Like, you know how you'll see like the lives or whatever. And I was literally just randomly scrolling.
Yeah.
And I clicked on his, and he had made a joke. He was like, yeah, my DMs are open, because somebody had asked him if he was single. And he said, yeah, my DMs are open. And I said, oh, really? Just left it at that. And I didn't DM him at all, right? He always tell this, because she said she was gonna get my DM, but she didn't. Whatever. So he actually DM'd me, and we started talking. And he was actually living in Florida at the time. No, excuse me, he was in California at the time. And we were just talking every single day, every day. I felt like I was just talking to my best friend. He was so nice, so attentive, very consistent. And he has a level of emotional intelligence that I haven't experienced in a partner. He's very attentive. He notices every change in me, whether my mood change, whether something's not right with me. He listens. Like, I don't have to repeat anything to him. Yes. Nothing. I could mention something one time. He's like, remember when you said, I'm like, dang, I said that. I did say that, you know, but he remembers everything. I just think that he's so much different because he wants to be here. Okay. I feel like I forced certain situations. Yeah, we may have been together, but it just felt so, you know how you said about being equally yoked? It just felt like forcing two puzzle pieces that didn't work. But I could just exist with him. I love that for you. Thank you. I do. I really do. It's just, and I met him briefly, and I could see. I was like, oh, okay, like, he cares about your well being. Mm-hmm. Like he cares. This is his woman right here. Like he lets that be known. Like I love that for you. I do. He really does. Do. Thank you. Yeah. He's really an awesome guy, and actually. I've never had my family be so vocal about liking somebody or not, right? And so when I say my grandma, she called him before she called me. She don't even be thinking about me. I love that. She don't think about me at all. Where my grandson at? Mind you, she never speaks like that. Yeah. Where my grandson at? You know, whatever. But my family loves him. My friends love him. I love him. Yeah. It's just so natural. I love that. So natural. I love that for you. I really do. Love is a beautiful thing. Like it's just when you can be yourself. Like there's no, oh, I can't stand him, or I gotta walk on eggshells. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. I still believe. I do. Like it's beautiful. Like mm-hmm. It is. It's you're an example that it exists. Mm-hmm. I love that. Thank you. I do. Yeah. I always looked at love as something that was unattainable, that was difficult, that when you did get it, it was something that you work at. Like, yes, you know, relationships you do have to work to some extent, you know, but it was, to me, it just always seemed like it had to be hard labor. Like, you have to do these things. Otherwise, he's going to have a wandering eye. But it's like, if he got a wandering eye, he got a wandering eye. That's just who he is. It ain't about you. That's true. Very true. Yeah. 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 That's right. Experience that firsthand. Absolutely. So I guess I would say, like, in the next 3 to 5 years, what direction do you see yourself heading? I definitely want to own event venues. That's something that I want to do. I also want to be a motivational speaker full time. And I just want to be happy, honestly. I know that sounds cliche, but I genuinely just want to be a level of happy and contentment where everything just feels like this is how it's supposed to be. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah. 100% agree with you. Absolutely. Just like nothing forced, just in a good space all the way across the board. I'm with you. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I thank you so much. I'm so happy to see your beautiful face. Of course. Yeah. Likewise. Yes. Yeah, this is way past due. Like, way past due. We're gonna catch up. We're gonna have a steak. Like, you know, we're gonna dig around with each other. Like, see what's been going on. Yeah. Gotta catch up. Yes, I missed you. Yes, me too, girl. So, how can the folks follow you, or you have your? I'm sorry, what's the name of your business? Tailor Made Realty Group. Realty Group. Okay. Yes. And Lucky Lashes. So you can find me on Instagram. Lucky Lashes is the name of the page. Same on Facebook. For TikTok, Lucky Lashes. And I just
got the okay to collaborate to sell on TikTok, by the way. So
That's a big step. Congratulations. That's huge.
I didn't expect it so soon. I was like, whoa.
I'm so proud of you.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But yes, Lucky Lashes for sure. Definitely find me on TikTok there because I am going to do a live probably in the next week. We're gonna do some giveaways. We're gonna, we're gonna like really make it nice. Probably play a game or two. And then you can find my personal page on Facebook, Tailor Made. Personal page on Instagram, TailorMade_777. Um, Eyelash needs, any real estate investing, anybody who maybe has like a foreclosure or owed taxes that they can't pay, please reach out to me, send me a DM, send me an inbox, and I will see what, me and my team can do for you.
How long have you been in real estate?
So I've been in real estate for, I would say like 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 years or so, with like a year, like going through my divorce. I like was, kind of, I couldn't, like, so, but like solid like 4 years. And I've kind of like Airbnb. I did Airbnb.
I remember that. Yeah, I
did,
remember.
like, wholesaling for a while. And now I'm just like, because I was gonna like go another way with it, but I was like, I want to own my time. I don't want to always be exchanging like money for time. That's not like, everybody wants money because it gives you freedom to do what you want to do. And I am after the freedom. I want to be able to, like, spend time with family, with kids, I just feel life shouldn't be stressful.
Amen.
It should not be, we're not put here to, pay bills and pass away. No, we're here to like learn and like be the best that we can be and just build. Like, I feel like, and that's it.
Yeah.
I can go on, but
well, I thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put all your information in the description box. So send me everything. But thank you so much for being here. I love you. Thank you for it was, by the way, it was her idea. So I appreciate you. I really do. But thank you. Please do not forget to follow your girl on Instagram, TikTok, Lemonade, LoveVeeTalks. If you're interested in collaborating, loveveetalks@gmail.com. And then I'll leave all of Taylor's information in the description below. Love y'all. Bye.